And welcome back to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Extra Zero Festival Highlights. I've collected a total of 11,250 medals, which means I've collected every last gem reward in the game. Which means, as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with this festival. It was tons of fun, but I don't need to stress myself out trying to get 22,000 medals for the trophy. For the Legacy pack. In fact, since I'm doing this right now, I'm gonna just switch over to the new monster art. Just unlocked you, so that's pretty much what we're doing. There you go. Palladian Oracle Mahad. Now we're gonna look at the oh shit, sorry about that. Yeah, let's look at our replays. We saved that. Yeah, we're gonna see all of them. Sorry about this. I tried to make sure I at least try to have more interesting duels that didn't end in 1 or 2 turns, but they're so funny. We decided to switch up decks, and I'm playing an Adventurer Spiral deck now for the second half of the event. And as a result of that, I went from banishing War Enchantress at the temple to get Rite of Armessier. The opponent chains Max C, but I chained one in Griffin Rider to make sure he doesn't get plus that hard. And here we go. Most summon Gakugigo, Drake sets, Phantasm Spirals, because I don't have Yumi on the field, and the opponent doesn't have any way to out my board because of that negate. And the board was Flu Wanderies, which they apparently bricked really hard on, basically. Because those Max C's and those Ash Blossoms were their only hope. But going second costing the game. This deck is also Flu Wanderies, and they had an equally bad time. As you'll see why. Oh, my opponent is diamond ranked here. That's interesting, because I thought I was a match against someone who's in this platinum rank like I was. Alright, so I went first, Faithful Adventure, and the field spell, Pacifist of Phantasm City. Add War Enchantress and discard War Enchantress to search for Rite of Aramaiser. You know the drill at this point. If you've played Master Duel long enough, you understand what the Adventure Engine is. And you understand why my Flu Wanderers player folded before I could even begin to set it up. Granted, he probably assumed way too quickly that I had a good hand. Wasn't that good of a hand. Now this one was going to be fun. It's a very, very intense little duel against an archetype I have very rarely seen in the event, even though a lot of people were acting like it was going to be one of the best ones, and that's True Draco. Let's watch. Duality is their True Draco continuous spell, Heritage. Then Pod Desires. Activate Heritage to make another true summon so they can get their regular summon of Awano and stop me from using hand traps with Awano's effect. Then that gives them a second normal, 3 normal summons this turn. Not bad. Even though they lost their hand because of Card of Demise. So how are we gonna fight this? We just set 4 pass. It's looking pretty grim, but we're still in the fight. So there we go. Less than half my life points left, and I have a skill drink I need to use wisely. So, no someone got the Higo, that lets me play my trap, Spiral Battle. Then this happens, then I go for skill drain, so I can't use his effect again. But unfortunately, they can both use their effects, which is why I have Spiral Power to negate it. Yeah, this nonsense happened. And because of that, yeah, laying True Draco's Search is pretty much the end of you. So the fact that I got Skill Drain turn 1 is pretty much the only reason I could compete. They could very easily have overtaken my card advantage. They could very easily generate so much card advantage that you really wouldn't be able to deal with them. Solemn to block my terraforming. I counter with my own Solemn. Life points, what are life points to me at this point? No. I know you're no. It's hilarious. But Phantasm stays back up. And alright. Things get a bit weird from here on out. Turn 7. Just set 2 pass. You'd think with 5 background I would feel more threatened, but that's suspicious. So I just have to play. Sorry, my mic cut out there for a second. Basically, I was suspicious, so I held out my second Gagagigo in case I was going to run into a battle trap. It didn't happen, so I just little summoned, got the Phantasm token in the summon. Now this is sick. The battle traps for the Phantasms can actually be triggered in the graveyard to do things like make sure you can move your equipped spells over other people. Recursion did not help my opponent here at all, though, because I can draw Lockbird now. Granted, I'm not sure what would have done, because at this point they realized they had no outs, so they had to surrender. Forcing a surrender after that, I feel much happier about. Sigma Grid was great, but this guy's also... Oh. I didn't even realize he was also running Dino, you know, True Draco. 2 True Dracos. 2 to 5. So, Enchantress. Oh, I got ashed. And Ash Blossom even worse when you... Why'd you put Max C? I don't understand why they went with the Max C specifically. I don't understand the point of that. So I have no choice to set 3, and then that's it. Duality. And he's also running the Adventure Engine. But he mysterious. Oh, that's right. He can't special summon because he uses Duality. I forgot that. That saved me a lot. So Megalo Smasher X is a monster that I did not know existed until I played Master Duel. A dinosaur with water attribute and 2000 flat defense. And it's pretty wicked. Pretty wicked. I just did to myself. Fisted and Rival Tenyi puts in a lot of work here. So I'm gonna flip. There can only be one at this point. Just because once I realized this was a Draco deck, I realized that keeping multiple Dracos in the field was paramount. And I negate their effect. What surprised me is that they didn't bother triggering the trap card after that. But then, you know, the fantastic ability of this battle trap happened again, which means I could use Spiral Grip to special summon Spiral Dragon, and that caused the opponent to fold because they had no out for that. Of course they didn't. I just made them walk into a trap that they weren't prepared for. Not everyone knows how to counter spirals, especially since they didn't understand the nature of all the trap cards they had. It's pretty nice. This is a Benkei deck, so you know. The one thing that's interesting about Benkei OTK builds here is just how different everyone can take the approach. The part 1 video I made earlier, I don't think I ever showed off the deck list I used in part 1, now I think about it. I'll have to show off the deck list for the 2 decks I used at the end of the video when I get the chance. Megalo Smasher after Hazard City, let's get a search. I like to get 1 copy of Spiral Bow and Spiral Power, just so I have more options, more flexible options. Phasm City gives me a token, which also triggers Fantastic, which gives me the equipped spell Fantastic Grip. And my opponent is weird, and they're completely okay with playing something like, Unbelievably, and Spiral Bow destroyed Matsuda. I wasn't sure how many equipped spells they had, because they had a certain one that would have been impossible for me to stop. But with the OTK engine gone, you know. This is... No, this is just a pure adventure deck. Is this the adventure loner deck? No, I don't think Red Reboot would be in there. I don't know. But hey, a basically straightforward. It's not using adventure cards as an engine. It's focusing on the adventure archetype. All right. And yet, they're forced to just set 1 face-down monster and pass. That's ridiculous to me. They must have bricked really hard, whereas I'm basically running on... Now, I forgot to do this in the wrong order. Okay, yeah, I had 1 in Griffin and Raya, so I got with C Stuff Tap, because that only works with level 5 or higher water monsters. And I was pretty short on them, so... I didn't go into attack because I was wondering if they would try to do something like Lightning Storm. They didn't, but I had Raigeki. And I'm pretty sure they were hoping I'd use up my Wandering Griffin Negate. But that's why Fist and Rival Tenyi is so hilarious, man. Look at that. They had no outs. They just bricked. I feel super bad for them. I was about to say, confirm your opponent's deck. Yeah, why are you playing Into the Void? Are you not afraid of Benkei mirrors? Oh, it's Spell Striker. That's just cute. Like, Spell Striker, Okay, it's another monster that can attack directly, so it's a backup to the backup, which is what Zapper's about. Alright, Lemaro, I'm sorry. Slower. Oh, a flu deck. Okay. Oh, another flu deck. Well, at this point, setting up my board is pretty normal. And we get to pop both our continuous spells. The main reason you want to equip Draco back is because if your token gets attacked, Faithful Avenger will protect it from one instance of battle destruction. Lightning Storm. Yeah, I kind of messed up here because I was trying to make sure Griffin was special summoned at the very least. But I pretty much lost everything. Oh, almost lost everything. There's still Draco back there. Fluwandereeze. I don't even care to remember their names. Like, every time I got a Fluwandereeze Ultra Rare, I immediately scrapped it for more points. I don't care to play the deck. I don't hate people who just like, oh my god. Oh, that's right, that was me. Okay, yeah, I stopped that nonsense before it got started. And we're going to direct attack. That's all we can do. Spiral Bow for destruction. I play Stealth Attack so I can Oh, that's right. That's what happened. I got red rebooted, which cost him half their life points. And that worked on C Stealth Attack. I just remembered that I could finally use C Stealth Attack to encourage my growth. Oh, and I got Skill Drain from my deck as a recompense from Red Reboot's second effect. And yet, somehow, after all that, they bricked and couldn't actually do anything further. I don't know what happened to your deck, buddy. Did it suck? Oh god, this is gonna be a pain to sit through, because this person... I'm showing this off for prosperity, and I decided to record because it's kind of a huge meme. But this person played Guardians because he was basically just fishing for the medals you get for completing... I mean, the gems you get for completing the special summon and normal summon 50 times each rewards. So, Terraforming to Pacifist. Oh god, I'm not gonna bother with this. And I am not familiar with facing Guardians, so I stupidly thought, oh, negate an effect activates in the hand and doesn't activate just once per turn. And it doesn't destroy it, because Fist of Arrival to Tenyi doesn't destroy cards, so that happened. Okay, and for the sake of my sanity, I think I'm just going to speed up the duel from here on out. Because this is a Guardian deck. They just go on and on. So, there you go. Understand exactly what's going on and why. On the right-hand side of the screen there. There's just so much. And that happened. Okay. Oh my god. It's just so much to keep track of. Plus I can recursion. Oh my god. Oh my god. If they wanted to farm those medals, if they wanted to get that normal and special summon count high, they were definitely doing it with this deck. Alright, we're leaving. Well, this happens. And that was me putting a stop to that nonsense. So I'm guessing they realized I negate their last play there, and they decided to just end the duel the easiest way they could. But this is an interesting one. Counter fairies, basically. Alright. We're back at normal speed because of needs to do it. But this is the funny part. He knows I add a card to my hand. He can read what card I add to my hand, but he guessed the effective Mind Reader wrong. He guessed the effective Mind Crush wrong. I don't know. Maybe the game doesn't let you do that to check this menu here to do that when you're checking Mind Crush. But yeah, if he knows adding if he knew I was adding Pacifist to my hand, I would not have been able to get him to surrender, I think. But it's been negated anyway. As a result of that, I have Right of Our Minister, which is negated by Solemn Judgment. So I play Faithful Adventure. Cause the last, and that's just it. Because obviously, apparently they thought I was just gonna search for the negate Griffin Rider, and didn't feel like dealing with it. Because of course they could. They have literally nothing left. So this is the last time I was recorded. My match against a Machina player. Pile Duality. I add there going to be one. Spiral Power. Phantasm City, Gaga Gigo. Spiral Power. And I said there can only be one. There can only be one is a fantastic floodgate for decks like Machina. Because it pretty much destroys their ability to gain advantage, field advantage against you if you can keep it on your field. On the other hand, my opponent probably just bricked really hard. Granted, at this point, they're going to turn their luck around a little bit. Machine and Gear Frame. I destroy Gear Frame. I chose not to negate it. So I go for Spiral Battle again. At this point, I realize I panicked earlier by choosing not to negate. But I had to get rid of that continuous spell because I was afraid of what he would do with it. Alright. You got the search. And that's fine because I got the search out because I can just Duel and Lockbird him. No more game cards from you. And this is the thing causes him to fold. There can only be one. So I stop both of his special summons because he can only control one of each type of machine monster. And this causes him to retaliate by hitting my Duel and Lockbird. Which doesn't actually do anything to him, I realized, but it also doesn't do anything to help him. Without the ability to have anything, or he can't summon anything else besides Gear Frame, so he can't use his big Machina beaters, which means he can't use their big board wiping effects, which means that's it for him. Alright. So here's my Adventure Spiral deck. 3 Gagagigo, 3 Megalo Smasher, and 1 Phantasm Spiral Dragon that can be revived via the effective Spiral Grip to become a 3k plus beater. Duel and Lockbird to stop cards being added to the hand. Of course, the Adventure Engine is right there. The cards make searching the Adventure Engine easier. Terraforming and Metaverse serve the same purpose of getting Pacifist and Phantasm City out to enhance our plays. And the Spiral Battle Traps are there for destruction and negation, alongside Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi and Solemn Judgment. Sea Stealth attack I've never used. I never got to actually use. Not for either of its Yumi recursion effects or for its destruction or spell card protection effects. There's 3 of these, but I never got to use them. I guess they're useful. Would be situationally useful in this event, but the real star here is there can only be one because it can potentially stop a lot of nasty things from happening to you in this event, especially if you're playing against Machinas. And then Skill Drain, bringing it back home. And this is the Benkei OT deck I used. 3 Matza, 3 Benkei, and 1 Anchamophite for enhanced drawing. After that, it's Raigeki, Harpies, Reinforcements for clearing the field, making it easier for your big boys to take the victory. These 6 cards are there to help. Those 7 cards are there to help increase the ability. Well, these 8 cards are there to help increase the ability to search for Matza or Benkei. H-Grenade also clears back row. H-Grenade and Lightning Storm are both there to clear back row and or monsters. And the rest of our lineup is how we basically beef up our boys to take people down. Mass Brutality, Axe to Spare, Mage Powers. Gain 1,000 points each. D6. Every spell and trap card you equip gives everything more big bonus attack power. Psychic Blade is basically equipping 2 copies of Axe Despair or Mask Brutality to one of the monsters you have. But Power of the Guardians is probably the most hilarious one if you can pull it off, because it gives your monsters protection each time they engage in battle. So it can potentially make them impossible to deal with by either destruction or battle. And finally, Clarent, which is the sleeper here of the deck, because Clarent allows Benkei and Zapper to become direct attackers instead, so they can bypass your monster's effects. And that's pretty much it for me. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I might as well show this off. My defeat of an Eldritch deck, finally. This time I hold back on Dracoback so I can give it to Megalo Smasher. Just in case something happens to Smasher, that means I can use Dracoback's effect to equip it to Adventure Token here. Negate the summon of Eldritch with Fist of the Tangy. Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Reasoning. I tried to make sure he sends another Eldritch to the graveyard, and I had no idea what other deck monster he could have had in his deck. But I ended up somehow giving him a Nibiru, which is not how I thought I'd see Nibiru in this event, but you know, there you go. Anyway, we can take care of Nibiru by bouncing using Dracoback. I use Faithful Adventures to search and get rid of deck 1v1 because this is an Eldritch deck. That's not going to help too much. But either way, we have Negate on the board. Oh, I already have a copy of deck 1v1. So yeah, if they try to double summon Eldritch, or their continuous trap cards are also zombie types. So if they did try to summon either an Eldritch or their Golden Lord, I just lock them out of summoning Eldritch specifically by using their 1v1. We use Wandering Griffin to negate the summoning of Eldritch in the graveyard, and I saw him his impermanence to take the game, basically, because he has nothing left. Ending the duel with Megalo Smasher. You gotta love seeing Eldritch getting taken down. You gotta love it. But, yeah. That's it for me, guys. I had a ton of fun playing the Master Duel X0 event. I think it's my favorite one in general. Like, a lot of people like the Highlander format and the NR festival, but I think Extra Zero is just the most fun for me because of how bonkers non-extra deck monsters can actually get to. So, as per usual, if you liked my videos on the Extra Zero festival, leave a like on my channel. Leave a like on these videos on my channel and subscribe. I haven't said that bit in a while. Sorry, I'm a bit rusty there. But yeah, until next time, guys. Peace out and take care.